Ed and Lorraine Warren were a real-life couple of paranormal investigators and authors known for their involvement in some of the most famous and controversial cases of alleged hauntings and supernatural phenomena. Ed Warren, 1926-2006. Ed was a World War II Navy veteran and a self-taught demonologist. He often conducted lectures and seminars about his experiences and research. Lorraine Warren, 1927-2019. Lorraine was a highly regarded clairvoyant and medium. She claimed to have the ability to communicate with spirits and was often called upon to provide psychic insight during their investigations. Some of their most famous cases include the Amityville Horror. The Amityville Horror is one of the most famous and controversial cases investigated by Ed and Lorraine Warren. It revolves around a house located at 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York. In December 1975, the Lutz family, consisting of George and Kathy Lutz and their 3 children, moved into the Dutch colonial-style house at 112 Ocean Avenue. Prior to the Lutz family moving in, the house was the site of a gruesome mass murder. In 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered his parents and 4 siblings in the house. DeFeo claimed that he was compelled to commit the murders by voices he heard in the house. DeFeo claimed that he was compelled to commit the murders by voices he heard in the house. The Lutz family claimed to have encountered a range of paranormal phenomena, including strange noises, foul odors, and unexplained cold spots. George Lutz reported waking up at 3:15 a.m. every night, which was the same time that DeFeo committed the murders. Kathy Lutz reported feeling a strong sense of foreboding and having disturbing dreams about the house. The family also described physical manifestations, such as doors and windows slamming shut on their own, and greenish-black slime oozing from the walls. The Lutz family contacted the Warrens to investigate the haunting. They declared the house to be infested with malevolent spirits and claimed that it was a case of demonic possession. The case gained significant media attention and became the basis for the 1977 book, The Amityville Horror, by Jay Anson, which detailed the Lutz family's experiences. The Annabelle doll. The Annabelle doll is a famous and allegedly haunted doll that was the focus of paranormal investigations conducted by Ed and Lorraine Warren. It was reportedly purchased by a mother as a birthday gift for her daughter, who was a nursing student, and strange occurrences began to happen shortly after she brought it home. Frightened by these occurrences, the young women contacted a medium who, in turn, contacted the Warrens. Ed and Lorraine Warren investigated the case and determined that the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a deceased young girl named Annabelle Higgins. According to the Warrens, the spirit claimed to be seeking refuge in the doll. The Warrens took the doll with them and began conducting further investigations into the case. They believed that the doll was not merely possessed by a spirit but was, in fact, a conduit for a malevolent demonic entity. Ed and Lorraine Warren kept the Annabelle doll in a glass case at their occult museum in Monroe, Connecticut. The doll was encased in a protective glass cabinet, with a sign warning visitors not to touch it. The Annabelle doll has been featured in several movies within The Conjuring film franchise, which is based on the case files of Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Perron family haunting. The Perron family haunting is another famous paranormal case investigated by Ed and Lorraine Warren. This case is best known as the basis for the 2013 horror film, The Conjuring. The Perron family, composed of parents Carolyn and Roger Perron and their 5 daughters, moved into a rural farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island, in 1971. The family reported seeing apparitions, hearing whispers, and feeling cold spots in the house. The haunting seemed to intensify over time, and the family claimed that they were terrorized by malevolent spirits. Lorraine Warren, who was sensitive to the supernatural, reported that the house was infested with numerous spirits, including a malevolent entity named Bathsheba. She was rumored to have been a Satanist. The Warrens conducted a séance and arranged for a local priest to bless the house in an attempt to rid it of the malevolent spirits. After these efforts, the Perron family reported a significant reduction in paranormal activity, and they eventually moved out of the house in the late 1970s. The Enfield Poltergeist. The Enfield Poltergeist is a well-known and highly controversial paranormal case that took place in Enfield, England, in the late 1970s. The family consisted of Peggy Hodgson, a single mother, and her 4 children, with 2 of them, Janet and Johnny, experiencing the most intense paranormal activity. The family reported loud knocking and banging sounds, furniture moving on its own, and objects being thrown across rooms. Janet Hodgson, in particular, claimed to be possessed by the spirit of a man named Bill Wilkins, who had reportedly died in the house years earlier. There were also reports of voices and levitation, with Janet allegedly being witnessed levitating in her room. The Hodgson family contacted local authorities, who, in turn, contacted paranormal investigators Maurice Gross and Guy Leo Playfair. Ed and Lorraine Warren, the famous paranormal investigators from the United States, also visited the Hodgson family and the Enfield house during the investigation. The Enfield poltergeist case received extensive media coverage, attracting the attention of journalists, television crews, and researchers. The movie, Conjuring 2 Inches, is also based on these events. The Smurl haunting, also known as the Smurl family haunting, is a well-documented and controversial case of alleged paranormal activity that took place in the 1980s in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. The Smurl family consisted of Jack and Janet Smurl, along with their 4 children. They lived in a duplex in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. The Smurl family reported experiencing a wide range of paranormal phenomena, including loud banging and knocking sounds, strange odors, and objects moving on their own. The Warrens concluded that the Smurl family was dealing with a case of demonic possession, and they worked to have the Catholic Church become involved in exorcising the spirits. The Smurl haunting received significant media attention, including newspaper articles and television coverage. It was also the subject of a book titled The Haunted, written by Robert Curran, with input from the Smurl family. Catholic priests were called in to perform exorcisms on the house, and it was blessed multiple times in an attempt to remove the malevolent entities. The Smurl family claimed that the activity eventually subsided, and the haunting ceased. Despite the various criticism, many still believe in the authenticity of these cases, leaving the field of paranormal research and skepticism with varying opinions on the Warrens' work.